Yeah, close down Blog TV.
Okay, I've just done that. Sorry, it's my mistake.
Let's start again. I'll edit all of this out and say 10
Okay,
minutes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's
Fine.
stupid.
Right. We'll start again. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much, DPR. You're very kind. And I was just going to say that pity that Aaron had to leave. I hope he's recovered from his laryngitis. And I want to pay tribute, if I may. Yeah, the brown nosing has been mentioned here to Thunder and Concordance, but I just want to say bravo, guys, reference the last show and everything. I thought you were fantastic. I thought you did really well in an almost impossible circular situation.
It's not what you told me in private.
All right. Come on, keep it clean. No, but what I was going to say, we've covered a wide spectrum tonight, guys. Yeah, the creationist thing and whatever. And what I was going to suggest, to be kind of very to the point on this, is that, and particularly, I guess, to Thunder and Concordance, you guys do an excellent job in terms of the scientific, taking guys out and calling them out, and really, par excellence. But if you think, it was Aaron who, like, even linguistically fought out the point with Hovland on the Mall in Washington, the very word linguistically, theory. And I know it would be an anathema. Thunder, it's a question for you, please, and Concordance. I know what a theory is, a collection of hypotheses, factually peer-reviewed and all the rest of it. Do you think even linguistically, because even in the Oxford English Dictionary and the Webster Dictionary, their linguistic types, academic types, they refuse to change things, and the scientific community even more. I mean, seriously, should we change the word theory? Because we have to fight this time and time again. Just the word theory.
Well, I mean, I think the obvious thing is to actually educate people on what it means. Day one science class, theories are things with predictive capability. They are the descriptors of reality, and they are what enable us to function. And indeed, now that we are this technologically advanced civilization, these are the very foundations of our civilization. And you can't just put the word theory in front of anything, because if it doesn't have any predictive utility, then it's not a theory. It's a hypothesis or a description.
I think the point being made, Thunder, is this, though, that the general public don't understand that interpretation of the word.
So, day one science class.
I agree. Education is going to be easier than changing the definition of a word or using a different word. But I think it is unfortunate, and it is a cheap tactic that the opposition use, because they know what it really means. Most of them do. It's still only a theory. Come on, you know what the story.
But even in our common linguistic use, DPR, you concede that we throw it around. I mean, I have a background in linguistics, and that's the only reason I'm saying it. It's just that we say things like, even in Spanish, in teoria. We say in English, in theory, meaning I think. I'm not sure, but I think. And it's just that it's a sad irony. It's a sad irony, a paradox, that, that's something that has been proven beyond, any possible peer review.
Okay. Here's one for you. Puma. Practical utility models about reality.
Well, that's a bit of a mouthful, Thunder. It's difficult to get.
No, I was just thinking. Look! It's a puma.
Well, but it describes it. It's oh god. Here we go. Laser. Who here can tell me what laser means? Concordance, mate.
It's
DPR. Hang on, let's try DPR. You know what laser is?
It is
illuminate,
and
light amplification by the stimulated emission of radiation.
It was on the tip of my tongue. I was just about to say that.
But in its origin, it's a Greek word. Stereo, laser. These are all Greek words from their original Greek meaning.
But I mean, this is what I highlighted in the
laser
previous
is an
video,
acronym.
not that long ago. That when we start talking about detailed scientific things, the vocabulary fails as much as our intuition does. So we are left with sort of like using labels that inevitably can be and are misconstrued. I don't know quite how we get around that. The trouble is that theory is such a commonly used word that it is unfortunate. But concordance.
Yeah, there have been people that have proposed we just start calling it the fact of evolution, not in reference to the theory, but the fact that it's not open to debate anymore. The fact of evolution refers to the fact that alleles change over time. If you want to talk about the larger framework of how things change through time, the explanatory model, the puma or the Zopdas, if we want to pick a new the puma that is the theory of evolution can be set aside, and we can talk about the fact of evolution.
Well, can you help me with
there
this?
are some elements of it that are not entirely.
I'm sorry. Can you help me with this? For example, you have in science, you have Boyle's law, you have Charles's law.
Mm-hmm.
Why are certain things laws and then
it's
other
essentially
things theories?
It's essentially sloppy nomenclature in that what really drives all of this is does it have predictive capability?
No. Right? Why is it called a law?
No.
Why is it Charles's law?
Very simple. I have a very simple answer for you, DPR. Let me answer. Okay, a law describes a single relationship. Boyle's law explains only a single behavior. Theories are larger frameworks. They involve a lot of relationships. They describe the mechanism by which things happen. So, for example, the germ theory of disease is different from the, let's say, the law of Virchow's similarities, right? Those kinds of things describe only a single relationship. Theories are much broader constructs. They're useful in an explanatory way, but across a broad range of things.
Well,
so the theory of
be my
gravity.
science teacher, Concordance. I've got such a gay crush on you, even though you are a dinosaur. Sky, I'm going to insist that we wrap you up fairly soon because I've got one last caller that I do want to fit in.
All right. I just wanted to say, in a nutshell, if I may, DPR, I made a video relevant to the last Mad You Saw. I did not mean, it was very, as Christopher Hitchens said, a little unlettered. I didn't want to disparage anyone. I was just simply saying that going back to, some of these cases that we've been talking about all evening in the circular argument, I would like to finally submit, and you know my mind, DPR, we fight these guys politically and legally. There's no point in entertaining DPR, Thunder and the guys.
I won't kick you just yet because I think this is an interesting point. Basically, you were very much against giving Eric and Cy any time or publicity, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
Do you think the argument that I advanced, namely that we were exposing their arguments and putting forward some of the potential objections that people could use against them, do you think that is a valid argument?
Yes, absolutely. But then in terms of, you have to measure it on its merits. It wasn't an objection, it was a perspective. And if I was only saying that simply, if you were to take it, as I regard these people, I regard them as criminals, I'm sorry, because they sell produce on a false premise and they make money. That's it. And I was just simply saying that it had been done before. Thunder had done it before. Concordance had done it before. It's been done to death, if you'll forgive me. And I just thought, why give them a further platform? And I just thought, when it came to the show, and it seems that Joe Public seemed to agree with me, it was although free speech and all that, it was kind of pointless doing it again because.
Well, I'm sorry, Sky, I have to interrupt you there. The videos that were posted on YouTube, the first one with Eric and Cy, got more views than any other program or part of a program that we have ever posted on the Magic Sandwich Show YouTube channel. So what does that tell you?
It doesn't dispute my argument. You got the views, but look at the voting on it. Look at the opinions and the comments. I mean, people did it, I suppose, from a morbid curiosity. I don't know. I'm not attacking the show. I made that very clear in my video. But I'm just simply saying that, it has to be measured. And what happened in the end? I mean, was there any sort of... Was there any conclusion? Was there any honesty? There really wasn't.
No one entered into that program thinking that anyone was going to change anyone's mind.
Oh, I know. Okay, fair enough.
And I would also strongly disagree.
So I'm going to move you whilst Thunder's making your point. I'm going to be making his point, and I'm going to remove you. But thank you very much for the call, Thunder. Do go on as I bring in the next caller.
Right. So the first thing is that I would strongly disagree in that these sorts of conversations of the people who came up to me and talked to me at the recent rally, they said that things like
Just a
this
second, Thunder.
are,
Aaron, rah. Can you mute whatever, please, until we come to you? Andy, please mute.
Okay, no problem. I'm done now.
Andy, I'll tell you what, I'll bring you back in later. Sorry, Thunder.
right.
I'll bring you back in a second, Andy, when you've sorted that out.
Yeah, people said that these things are actually, or were, instrumental in them ditching religion. This was, if you like, part of the thing that tipped the balance. And you've got to understand these are social equilibria. And when something's in equilibrium, there's no change. There's sort of static pressures. And what we're doing by advocating these sorts of positions is trying to facilitate change towards a more rational society. And you're asking what are the things that we can do. Well, one of the things that I think is more unexpectedly dropped into our hands is our almost complete dominance of the social media, things like, well, almost of the internet. The internet, it looks more and more as just where religions are going to come to die. And I think that we really ought to put as much effort as we can into consolidating that position. Because I think more and more this will be... young people spend more of their time on the internet. They're exposed to these ideas. This is what will be instrumental in ensuring that the next generation is more rational than the current one.
I think that's a very valid point. Concordance, do you want to add anything to that as I try and bring Andy back in? Hopefully this time.
No, let's see how it goes. It sounded like you could hear Radio Free Britain on his Skype call.